The New York Knicks just did the unthinkable as everything was falling apart, looking like the Detroit Pistons were going to steal this game late in the fourth quarter. The Knicks and Jalen Brunson make a great play, right? Now, with about 15 seconds left in the game, it's a tie game. You cannot lose at this point. You want to take the game winner. But notice with 13 seconds here on the clock, they don't get into their action. Instead of just running a straight isolation, what they do is they send Mikal Bridges. Now, what we want to do here is get all the weight onto that outside foot of Ausar Thompson, who's a very good, defender. So as we're setting this screen, you're getting communication from Tobias Harris saying, screens, screens, screens. And when they set these screens, you expect a switch. He drops back over to Mikal. And more importantly, he jumps onto Jalen Brunson. However, when they don't actually set that screen, all of that weight that was on the opposite foot, the screen never comes. So now he's already off balance. He's not going in the right direction. Now he's kind of playing catch up, trying to get back in front of Jalen Brunson. Watch this. Stops on an absolute dime. Sends Ausar Thompson in the opposite direction, and then look at the separation he was able to get and drains the game-winning three. Was about 4.3 seconds left, but Jalen Brunson, who is absolutely struggling here in the fourth quarter to shoot the ball, hits the game-winning shot to send them in the next series versus the Boston Celtics. I mean, what a play by them. And then we can take a look. The 11-1 run, right? We're going to break down everything you need to know about this win, but man, look at the defense here on the last possession. Here was it going. So you got side out Cade throwing it in. You got Beasley. You got Dennis Schroeder. You got Tim Hardaway. Guys that can shoot the ball. Tobias Harris, they try to draw a little cheesy, not in bounds foul away from the ball. They get it to Beasley. They dribble handoff to Cade. Great defense. Look at Mikal Bridges stagger up. You get guys everywhere. Now, ultimately, they just mess up a wide open opportunity. But again, it's the way these guys fought back, didn't give up, even though, right? I mean, if you're Malik Beasley, he just looked at the basket way too soon, got nervous because didn't know how much time was on the clock, and that right there cost them the game. So before we dive into the video, do me a big time favor, guys. Let me know what a series prediction of the Celtics-Knicks series is going to be. Who's going to win? How many games? Let's dive into this video. Now, one guy we have to give a ton of credit to is Mikal Bridges. Tonight, he was amazing. I know he hasn't been the perfect player ever since the Knicks got him, but tonight, as he was a screen setter, was really good off the roll as teams like to double team Jalen Brunson. Tonight, I was 11 of 16 from the field, right? 1 of 4 from 3, but had 2 offensive rebounds, and those 2 were insane. This one, you're down by 2 with 40 seconds left to go. After you set that screen, his defender rotates over. You got Ausar Thompson trying to get on that backside of Jalen Brunson, initiating that double team, putting the defense in what we like to call a blender. We have Mitchell Robinson at that low post dunker spot. Now, Brunson does a typical step back, fade away mid-range, but right now, look at Mikal Bridges. He gets in front. He's the only guy with leverage here as they're trying to completely shut out Mitchell Robinson, and look at Mikal Bridges just do a great job with the putback lane. And guys, this was the play of the game. If the Pistons get this ball back, they can run this thing down pretty well. And this was such a big play by Mikal Bridges. Again, 11 of 16, 25 points. What a game for Mikal. Now, if I'm being honest, it was the 13 offensive rebounds in this game that won them this game, right? When you have second chance opportunities, when you have the opportunity to shoot more times than the other team, your chances of winning that game is insane. I mean, look at this play. Jalen Brunson drives by the big man, right? We have all the leverage in the world, but look at what we see here. We start to see the defense in what I like to call a BW, ball watching. Everybody is staring at the basketball. Now, what is the issue when people do this? You give lanes to the basket for second chance opportunities when you're supposed to be boxing out. They both go to box out Karl-Anthony Towns, and Josh Hart gets a free lane off the baseline for a putback dunk opportunity. Now, again, you look at what he did in this game, only 3 of 5 from the field, but 2 offensive rebounds, right? And that was another big one to solidify this lead in the game in that third quarter and help them maintain the lead after a massive run by Detroit in the fourth quarter. All right, here we go. Big time play, down by 2, 5 minutes left to go. Let's get into how they were able to control the game at the end and make sure it didn't get too out of hand. Now, again, whenever you get Jalen Brunson, because he's such a good player, so dominate within this mid-range area, teams usually like to send two. Now, whether it's a fire, which means a top side blitz, or a weak side, strong side, low post blitz, you're going to see some sort of rotation by this defense. Now, again, my favorite thing about this Knicks team is the off-ball movement. They just don't stand around, and you're going to notice here, especially Josh Hart, right? We see that rotation from the weak side corner, and now we want to attack that zone, right? Now, as the defense starts to rotate here, right, we can rotate here. So now we have two guys versus one because we put them in a blender. We caused that double team. And look at Brunson. As he's fading away behind the backboard, he sees Dennis Schroeder take on OG Anunoby in that dunker spot. Finds Josh Hart, who is then wide open for a layup to tie up this game, man. Again, the execution tonight was something that I need to point out, and we're going to point it out even more in just a second. Before we dive into that, hit that like button if you haven't already done so. If we get, let's say, 500 likes on this video, guys, we'll be posting a part 2 tomorrow, okay? If you want a part 2 tomorrow, hit the like button. Let me know by commenting down P2. And lastly, subscribe. It is free. It doesn't cost anything to join the family, and we got you guys covered. So make sure you guys do that real quick, and let's dive back into some film. All right, and at this point of the game, down by 7, a lot of people said, oh, it's over. They're not winning this game. It's over. They're done. We're going to a game 7, right? Nope. Jalen Brunson, man. You never count out Jalen Brunson. Right here, they're acting like they're going to set up a screen. They get their defender to top lock. Now, top locking basically means they're going to go over that screen. They're going to make sure that they're there and force you in the opposite direction because at the end of the day, they know they have weak side rotation. But again, when you put Towns at the top and you have their big man at the top of the key because he's on Josh Hart, it forces that last line of defense to, instead of being Jalen Duren, it's Cade Cunningham, right? Which is huge. So as Jalen Brunson notices the top lock, he drives baseline because they give him that leverage. As he gets in, he draws the body contact with the left shoulder. That is a foul, but then look at this. Floater off the glass and good. And one, sound dumb, and now with the potential free throw, it's a 4-point game, okay? Now you thought that was crazy. Look at this, under 2 minutes left to go in the ball game. Jalen Brunson, top of the key. We're 5 out, 5 wide. Beautiful. Love this offense, which means they're playing the in the gaps defense, okay? What is an in the gaps defense? Essentially, look at how they're moving guys over, right? They're trying to prevent Jalen Brunson from having this ball. But the problem with doing that is if you don't slide back out, they have an open 3. So you can't be committed to playing Jalen Brunson, which makes them so difficult to guard. Brunson drives in. These guys are so hesitant to help out. So Brunson takes the one-on-one, says, okay, bet. Takes it. Boom, look at this. He gets underneath the basket, kind of Steve Nash's this thing where he'd go all the way around underneath the basket, but then stops on a dime. Somehow, some way, the body control stays up, pumps, layup, gets it to go. Maybe even could have been an and one as well. When you look at Jalen Brunson, you just see an underdog, right? You see a guy that will never give up on any play, and the pure IQ of this man is out of this world, man. Shout out to Jalen Brunson. Can we please put a W in the chat for Jalen Brunson? Because if it wasn't for him and the Dallas Mavericks and Nico Harrison, who knows where this Knicks team would be right now, man. He's so good. And then from there, we know what happened. Mikal Bridges got a nasty putback off this fadeaway mid-range that tied up the game. Huge, right? Love that. And then, of course, the pull-up 3 for Brunson, and then the stop defensively. What a game, what a win. Boston Knicks coming up next. Get ready, man. That should be one hell of a series. Let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.